Hello, my podcast people, and thank you for joining me for yet another episode of my favorite podcast. If you are joining us on the day that it drops, it is Monday, May 13th. Welcome to the middle of May. Real quick announcement, speaking of the date, next Monday's episode, it's going to be a guest episode. That'll be episode 581 with my girl, Kelly Bryant. Kelly's been in the ecosystem for a minute. We talk about this in the episode. But when I started the podcast, I started it as a way to bring on folks and highlight folks who are building their best life and actually living their best life. You know, like regular folks. All the podcasts that I had heard up till then, even though I don't listen to that many, but they just like, you know, bring on quote unquote like famous people and things like that. And I'm like, that's great, but like, how'd they get there? But also like, what are people, like real people doing? So I brought on real people and she killed it. We tend to get entrepreneurship shoved down our throats. Like it's the only thing to do. And if you go and take a job, like you're quitting and all this other bullshit. And for many folks, just, you know, forging ahead and continuing to struggle through the entrepreneurial route ain't it. It's not part of your best life. So Kelly, she shares in that episode, she shares, that was like a little bit of almost a tongue twister. She shares her journey with entrepreneurism or entrepreneurship and going into, you know, taking a corporate job and still like having her business and what that looked like, what that looks like, what it's allowed her to do, the decisions she's made, what's led her to, you know, where she's at right now. It was just really great to hear her journey. She also dropped a little surprise during the episode. I was like, oh, she told me that she had some stuff going on and she was like, I will let you know on the episode. And she did. And I want you folks to listen in, to tune in. I would love it. She gives some tactical, actionable advice as well. For those of you that may be thinking about kind of doing other things. And again, I just hope that you'll tune in. So that's next Monday, I'm looking at the calendar, the 20th. It's episode 580, or will be episode 581. I believe we're calling that episode A Shed and a Dream. And you'll have to tune into the full episode to hear why that's the title. I got one life announcement for you, and then we'll hop on into the episode because today we are doing the Instagram Q&A answers from April. So life announcement is that last weekend or whatever weekend this is from this episode dropping, I went to Garth in Vegas. I'm trying to think of how I want to phrase that. Lex and I went and saw Garth in Vegas, and it was fucking phenomenal. It's for his residency. I've seen Garth a few times, and this was like the smallest venue, and we had 8th row tickets. Like it was 8th row, like in the middle. It was fucking phenomenal. Trisha Yearwood was there. She played some songs. It was just so good. During the concert, you're not allowed to have phones. So they give you this like phone case thing, and it's like, I don't know, it's like magnetized shut. And then when you go to leave, they like push this. They have like a little thing that you put it under. Like there's people that are at the door, and you like they push a button on the thing, and then the little package container thing opens up, and you get your phone out of it. But you have your phone with you the whole time. You just can't use it. It's like inside of like a neoprene case. And the fun thought exercise here is I was just like, I want to share this, like that I'm in the 8th row and how close we are. And I think that we immediately think of that as a bad thing. Like, oh, you want to show off or brag, or like, you can't enjoy the moment. And I'm like, motherfucker, I love sharing my joy. That makes it even more fun to me to be like, y'all, you can live your best life. Y'all, my best life is going to a country concert where I'm probably one of 3 black people that are there. But like, and you know, Lex and I are there as a gay couple. Like I want to show that. So it was a little annoying to me that we didn't have phones. But obviously we took pictures outside of it and things like that. But also a little annoying because I'm like, I'm a fucking adult. And if I don't want to don't want to use my phone, I can choose that. Right? Because I think there's an argument to be said like, oh, it forces you to like be in the moment. And I'm like, I'm an adult. I can choose that. But I also very much respect Garth Brooks's choice as running his own business, right? As a creator, whatever, to be like, nah, I'm going to set the precedent here and this is how I want it to run. And I'm like, more power to you for that. But either way, whatever, had a phenomenal trip with Lex, went to Vegas, it's perfect amount of time. We flew in on Saturday night, went and got drinks, hung out, didn't play any slots then, everything like that. Went to the pool the next day, and then went to dinner. Love Zuma. Zuma is my favorite restaurant. And then we went to the show and played a little bit of slots after. I like to play bubble craps. We were winning. We did really well, and then we ended up break. And by playing, I put $20 in. We got up to like $56, dropped down to $20, cashed out, went and played the slots. Lex bet $7.50 on one of the rolls, just one. She like didn't understand the buttons, and she looked at me. She was like, "I don't understand the buttons," and I was like, "Well, we only have one roll left." But it was really fun, and then we came home on Monday. So great trip overall, and those are the life updates. But let's hop into the episode because I got a lot of questions to answer. Actually, one more thing. The fat loss episode that I did last week was received so well. You folks are the best. Check it out if you haven't. That was episode 577. But the segue here is that what I am about to share, these are the responses from the Instagram Q&A that I did a few weeks ago. But this is what I originally just planned to share that day. I was going to do the little intro speaking about that I was going to, thinking about fat loss stuff, but didn't have enough to say. And so was just going to do like a little tidbit. And as I sat down to write the outline, I was like, holy shit, I have a whole episode's worth of things to say. So I pushed the Q&A answer episode to today. So here we are. But I had put that question box just because I haven't done it in a long time on Instagram. And the questions that I got asked were phenomenal. Phenomenal. So I'm sharing them here. I am also very happy to have all of you fine folks ask me questions, and I will answer them. If you want to drop it on the YouTube, I'm a little slower over there, but Joe gives me a heads up if there's comments and such. Or fastest, DM me at the Movement Maestro or shoot me a text. I swear, it is me, and I don't get that many texts, so I will get back to you. That's 310-737-2345. So let's hop into the questions. I don't even know how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 questions to go. So let's hop on in. Okay, so first one. What is your biggest tip for someone trying to grow on Instagram? Very simple. Consistency, not to be confused with frequency. Daily posting is always going to be the fastest way to learn about yourself, learn what you like saying, how you like saying it, who you like saying it to. So I will always advocate for that frequency, but it needs to be sustainable. It's also the fastest way to build a habit, but again, it must be sustainable. With that in mind, give your efforts a minimum of 18 months before you decide if it's quote unquote worth it. Not that you're going to blow up, guaranteed to blow up during that time, but if you are committed to the process and it's, you're really leaning in, within 18 months, you'll be able to tell like, yeah, I kind of want to keep doing this, or just like, I don't fucking like this. I don't want to do it. Last two parts here, focus on strategy, not tactics. Strategy are the bigger things. It's the, how to do the thing. So consistency, specificity, quality, whereas it's the game plan, right? Whereas tactics are like the little nuanced bullshit, the best time to post, the hashtags, all that bullshit that the Instagram gurus love to like focus on because they don't actually fucking matter, but they can pretend that they do. So focus up your efforts on strategy, which is posting consistently, posting with specificity, or at least learning that specificity by posting consistently, and then creating quality content, meaning it solves problems and you're looking to niche down with it, right? We're going to speak fast this episode, folks, so buckle up. Next question, thoughts on monetizing a podcast through ads or sponsorships. So you listening to the podcast right now, and you see I've never run an ad I've run an ad, but they were my own. I like made little ads and I put them in, but I've never run an actual ad. I don't have sponsorships or anything like this for the podcast, and it's very intentional. I don't want anyone telling me what to do. The way that I run my business and the way that I coach other people to run their businesses is to monetize their audience directly, meaning the audience will pay you, you're not going to get paid for access to your audience, right? That's what ads are. Someone's paying you to gain access to your audience. I use my podcast to promote my own shit, so that could be a quote unquote an ad, and that's the only asks that I really want to have in the podcast. My preference, if I'm going to look to bring in other businesses, is to build genuine relationships with that business and with that owner. Then bring the owner on, let you folks hear them, fall in love with them, hear why I love this brand, and I typically will then look to, if anything, ask for product. I'm not going to ask for a recurring sponsorship because it's just fucking annoying to me that I have to look at the metrics with people and share that. And they're you need at least a year before people buy shit. And I'm like, I don't want it. So if I ever do partner in any way, I typically will pass the discount on to my audience and be like, hey, instead of giving me a cut as an affiliate for this thing, how about you just increase the discount that my audience gets and I get free product in exchange for that. So there's nothing wrong with doing sponsorships and things like that. And I'm thinking of people like Danielle Pacenti, who really does it really well. But in a podcast, it just doesn't feel worth it to me to get maybe a couple $100 a month for that sponsorship. And they're going to want those fucking periodic check-ins and numbers and shit. And doing that in exchange for what I consider to be an interrupted listening experience. I almost said podcasts. I hate ads. I fucking hate them. I don't know one person that doesn't. I know that we can accept them, but I'm like, I think there's a better way to do it. So all good if you want to do it. But I would say, try to get creative if you can. And yeah, it's my 2 pennies on the ads. Next question. How old are the babies, Moose and Rupert? Yes, the animals will always be my main interest. So Rupert's gotcha day just passed. It was on 5/4, May 4th, May 4th. And so I got him in 2020. He was about 1 when I got him. So they say he was a rescue. So he's about 5 now. And Moose is like 2.5 and still fucking crazy. So I include these questions in here because I want you folks to know kind of 2 things here. One, I love talking to you folks and I will answer life questions because the question box is like, it said, ask me anything. And number 2, like from the business side of this, listening the story around the story is these are knowables, right? It's amazing if your audience knows your pets and is in your fur babies, or you want to call them, and is invested as well. And that's what I hope for people to set up and how I would love to see them really utilizing Instagram if they're looking to build a personal brand. All right. Let your people know about you. All right, next question. Would you say your advice applies to US and European crowds equally? Yep, and Australia and Canada and South America and wherever you may be. Why? Because marketing is marketing, building relationships is building relationships, being good at what you do is being good at what you do. Doesn't matter where you live. Right? This is especially true, like this ubiquity, I'm going to just use that word, is especially true considering that I'm teaching about online business. So it doesn't matter where people are because they're all online. Right? Irrespective of where they physically live. So the principles that I teach with my business stuff, they're universal, right? The exact and specific application, aka like what price to charge, because what your specific market is holding may be different, but that's typically more niche related, not geography related, we'll say. Not like using geo-targeting when social media is the top of funnel. So yes, the advice that I give applies to anyone that is anywhere and wondering about marketing as I teach it. Next question. Want to hang out this weekend? That was from my girl, Anna Banana, Anna Hartman. She's never fucking home, and she was actually home. Lutz and I went to Vegas that weekend. So we didn't hang out, but I love Anna Hartman. If you haven't checked her out yet, I brought her on the podcast. I shout her out a bunch, but we'll link her Instagram on here, in the show notes rather, and you can check her out. Next question. And I love this question, how have you become such a presence online as an introvert? I fucking love this question. This is from my girl Becca. It's so good. So I am absolutely an introvert as I define it based on what recharges me, right? Which is being alone versus what drains me, which is being with other people, being really social. Yes, I can run the shit out of a stage. I can work a room. I can have very good conversations, but the recharging happens alone, right? That in mind, that's exactly why I love social media and why I have thrived on here, in my opinion, because it's on my own schedule. I can show up when I want, I can be done when I want, and then I can go and recharge. I truly believe that social media is a phenomenal space for introverted folks, because you literally don't have to leave your house. So I kind of hate it when people are like, I'm an introvert, I can't be on social media, and I'm like, let's rephrase that sentence. I'm an introvert, which is exactly why I should be on social media. Like, it's actually the best space because you get to choose. You're fully in control. I think that people love to, like, I don't know, mix up and equate like introvert and socially awkward. And I'm like, that's different. Like, it's fine if you're socially awkward as well. Like, I am very socially adept. I just recharge alone, which is why I love social media. Next one, how to grow your podcast engagement / audience. Broke this into 2 parts. The response into 2 parts. So the engagement side. Number 1, utilize calls to interaction. Ask people to DM you and text you. I stay asking you folks to DM me, to text me. I already did one before. I'll do it again. If you got questions, if you're loving this episode and you're like, oh, I want to ask a question, DM me at the Movement Maestro. Text me. 310-737-2345. I'd love to hear from you. Don't email me. I'll never get back to you. But ask people to interact with you. Ask them to leave reviews and ratings. I went through a period when I was asking for a bunch of them, and y'all fucking showed up. Thank you. The next part of that is if and when you ask for these reviews and this interaction, acknowledge the folks who do that, who take you up on it, the folks that review, the folks that write in. Y'all are fucking amazing. Right? Then you keep making episodes and you keep asking. I think the biggest thing here is to understand that podcasting is inherently a very unidirectional form of content creation, and you have to be okay with that. If you're not, you're probably going to stop. All right. So you can look to kind of make the podcast more interactive, and you can have people call in, but it's not going to be live anyway. It's going to be recorded. So I'm going to need you folks to lean into the fact that it's unidirectional, so that you actually keep going, right? And stay growing long enough that the podcast can grow, which is the next part here. How do we grow the podcast? So number one, deliver great content. Great, obviously, is subjective, but number one, we got to have good sound quality. People will not listen. They don't pay attention, right? They won't listen to shitty audio. Create content that solves problems, and maybe that problem is entertainment, right? You're funny or whatever. Entertainment is also subjective, but lean into that. And content that shares your life, like let people connect with you and really hear from you. It's such a passive experience, right? You're just like in their ear. I think that throwing in parts where you're just like talking about yourself and talking about your life is great. Next thing here with growth, ask listeners to share the episode, right? Ask for it. Utilize that call to action. You personally promote your show on other platforms. So promote it on social, promote it in your email. Realistically, the people that listen to podcasts are listening to podcasts. So you probably want to promote it on other podcasts, which I'm going to get to next, but you should still, within your own audience, let people know that they have other ways to binge your brain. Right? So the biggest one here is to bring on guests and be a fucking bomb-ass host. When you're a bomb-ass host, you make your guests feel seen. You've done your research beforehand, and it feels very clear as the guest that you're genuinely interested in that person. You make it so that you're genuinely interested in their success and how you can help them, not what they can do for you. So I think underlying all of that is be genuinely curious in your guests and what they do and asking the questions and having conversations, but do your homework first. From there, cross your fingers that they share the episode with their audience, and perhaps they bring you on to their podcast if they have one, which would be great, because then they hear people that are listening to podcasts listen to other podcasts, and then you can promote your podcast on there. All right. Next question. Number one tip for email marketing practices. Very simple. Be consistent. That's like the most fucking important thing. I'd love for you to number one, I love that you're asking this question. You're thinking about email marketing. Yes. Yes. It is so important for an online business. Second part here is to view email as a way to maintain connection with your people, right? Yes, you're going to use it for selling, but if you only use it when you're selling, you end up being that MLM friend that's like sending you DMs in Facebook and be like, I have an opportunity for you. I've never talked to you. I haven't talked to you in 10 years, but here I am. We don't want that. So send emails regularly, whatever that looks like for you, and consistently, and look to really and truly, in my opinion, connect with your people. Folks are protective over their inboxes, so look to provide value, whatever that looks like. I'm thinking about Dockless Fitness, and she's really sharing a lot of answers. Her Friday email is just sharing answers to Q&As. And that's perfectly fine too. Again, it needs to be, my default's always going to be to default to relational marketing. And so if that's not you and you're just like, more like, I like to teach, cool, then lean into that, but be consistent with it. Both provide value. I will always coach someone to lean into the connection side of it, and yes, provide resources and information for your people, but I will then add into that the connection side and the storytelling and when I say storytelling, it's largely like adding context to things, sharing your life that support sharing things from your life, which then supports whatever it is that you're teaching. But it's up to you. I think that realistically, the consistency part is what's most important. And then lastly, autonomy is sexy. And so let folks unsubscribe when they want, and don't try to manage their experience by sending fewer emails so as to not, quote unquote, bother them. Next question. This is the kind of people that I have in my DMs and in my ecosystem to the best. Next question was from Dr. Jackie Fenton. And she said, want to come to Disneyland with us on Tuesday? Absolutely not. Never. Not in a million years. Hard pass. But we do love Dr. Jackie Fenton. So thank you for asking us to join. But the answer will always be never. But I think the lesson there, if you will, is to each their own. You love Disney? Amazing. I love that for you. You don't like Disney? Also love that for you. Next question. Really good one here. Started an Instagram page as a food blogger. Now moved into fitness. 70% of followers want recipes for chocolate cake. But now I tell them to do squats. Confused? To put a question mark, I'm not sure. I think she's confused. I don't know. They're confused. Either way, what? Confused? Should I just ditch the current page and start from scratch? Yes. Immediately, yes. I don't usually suggest people make another second account or anything like that, but this is absolutely a time where it makes sense to just start a whole new page, start a whole new account. And Instagram honestly might reward that as well. Like they've been talking about how they're going to look to, give equal push to small creators. And so if you have a brand new account as a small creator, I think the people that are going to get screwed the most, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I think the people that are going to get screwed the most, people like myself that have like this like medium to big size account and it's an old account. And they're just like, we were like really promoting the like new guys. And I'm like, but whatever, it's totally fine. So in this case, it might be really helpful, right? I would only post on that new account. You can make it a post on your old account that says, hey, I've moved over here. This is the type of content you're going to be finding. This way, if someone does go over there, but only focus on the new one. I see this a lot, and this person is not doing it, but I see this a lot where people change their niche and then they get mad that the audience isn't engaging with them. And it's just like, dude, people came to your store for one thing and now you're fucking selling something completely different. Like, that's on you. So again, this person didn't do that, but I see it and I'm going to advise against that. So for this, start a new page and then look to attract folks who want the new thing that you're selling. Next one, need a picture of Maestro and what is your middle name? So if you DM me, folks, I am happy to send you a picture of Rupert. I'll send you a bunch. I love that guy. You want a picture of Moose? Do that as well. But this person's been in the ecosystem for a bit. She's a good one. And for those of you who don't know, my middle name is Shantae. My first name is Carmen. I don't go by it. I never have. My parents named me after my mom, whose name is Carmen. She's Hike Lady 1963 on Instagram if you want to connect with her, and you can see that I basically stole her face. But I would love to hear if what I just told you blew your mind. If so, DM me, text me, let me know. I never knew. If you watch or if you follow Tony Baker, he's a comedian. That's a line from him. I never knew. So if you never knew that was my middle name and my first name is Carmen, let me know. You see these calls to interaction here? Fun. Next one. This is a good one. Really, really good one. Does your family understand what you do? My life seems quote unquote public to them, but I like it. They don't do much social media or understand. Perceived judgment that's not there. Really, really fucking good question. So I have no idea if my family really understands what I do. My sister probably does. And when I say probably, I mean she definitely does. But what I think this question is actually getting at is, does my family support and respect what I do? And the answer to that is absolutely. They have always been my biggest supporters. Always. Right? I think it's worth noting that people don't have to understand or know what you do to respect it and to support it. I have no idea what my brothers do. Like, no idea. Especially my brother that's in the military. He's in the Marines now. I really don't know. I just talked to him a few days ago and I was like, how's work? I don't know what he does. But I respect it and I support them both endlessly. So I honestly don't understand what most people do. Like, I think back to being a physical therapist and I'd like talk about stuff with people. I'm like, I have no fucking clue what you do. Like, okay. But I still respect it, right? So I'm not a family therapist, so I don't want to like offer advice in that regard. But my experience has been in life in general is that people take their cues on how to treat us from us. So the confidence, the conviction, the congruence, shout out to James Olivia for that word, and the joy that we bring to a situation typically directly influences how people believe we feel about those situations and subsequently how they treat us, right? So just something to keep in mind with that. And then after that, if we show up as our full selves with that congruence, then after that, we have the choice of how we want to relate with people. Or if we want to do it at all. If we've said, like, this is what I love, this is what I believe in, this is what I want to be doing, we explain the things. And if people are just not supporting us, we don't have to continue to relate with them. It's your choice. So, phenomenal question. Next one. If my niche is great at DIY, do I still give them all the info for free? They seem to use it, but not me. To me, my friend, it sounds like you have a dream audience because they're actually doing the thing, right? So few people actually do the thing. So few people. So my suggestion would be to absolutely continue to provide all of that free value, all that free content, and then make sure that you're also sharing with those folks the ways that they can work with you. It's my guess that this person is likely aware of the very small percentage of their audience that will actually do things on their own, right? That may also be like the most vocal portion of their audience, but it's probably still just a small percentage of their audience. Meanwhile, they likely have a significant amount of people who would pay to have them help them, to make it specific for them, to hold them accountable. But those people just don't know that this person offers that service or those services. So all that to say, talk about your shit. Next one, last one here. Tips for building community online. I fucking love it. 3 parts here. Number 1, lead from the front. All right. You must be the initial kindling and bring this fire to life. It's all you. You got to believe in it, right? You got to be doing the thing, doing the most. Initially, you got to be contributing the most. You got to be doing the most in general, posting the most things so that folks have the gift of going second and they see what it's like. Look to highlight the people, the initial people that you have in this ecosystem. Highlight them, shout them out, encourage them to take up space. Take the time to really learn about those people and see them and support them in the way that they want to be seen and supported. Number two, make sure that your people actually want community. I think that it's something that's really touted as like a benefit for this offer. Meanwhile, there's no community. And also, a lot of people don't fucking want it. Many people just want a solution. They want an outcome, which is not a bad thing. They don't want a support system of strangers. So really understand, do my people want it? Do they need it? And then lean in or then proceed accordingly. Number three, understand that community is a group of people you learn from, not just with. Shout out to Lauren Caselli. She was the person who said that to me, and it just stuck in my brain forever. So we can link that episode. Thank you, Courtney. But to that end, you got to create, I almost said episodes. You got to create opportunities for your members to be able to provide value and to be in the spotlight, which I think some people actually don't want. Meaning, I think some community leaders don't actually want that. They want the power. They want to be the one that's like leading the things, doing all the things. But a true community, you're going to hand that microphone over to somebody else and be like, Joe is really good at YouTube and he's going to talk about this, and Lex is great at SEO and she's going to talk about this, and so-and-so is really great at this thing, and I'm going to give the mic to them to share so that we can all learn from each other. It's very, very different. Right? If you're the only one that's sharing and doing the talking, that's not a course. Oh, excuse me. I had a big moment there and I fucked it up. If you're the only one, leave that in, Courtney. If you're the only one sharing and doing the talking, that is not community. That is a course. That's what I wanted to say. That was good. We're going to clip that, but leave it all in. All right, we're going to wrap it up there. I would obviously love to hear your questions. If you have any, I'll answer them in this format as well. It's also just so much easier. Like it's hard to do it on social media because it's brevity, right? And the font because it's so small, because I still want to say the things, but I can only say but so much. I'm typing it out. But I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to just be able to answer it podcast format. Or podcast episode format. So please, if you got questions, hit me up. Instagram at The Movement Maestro. DM me there. You can give me a little text. 310-737-2345. Don't forget next Monday's episode. That's May 20th, episode 400. What am I saying? Episode 581. That's going to be a guest episode, a little bit longer, with my girl, Kelly Bryant. And I'd fucking love for you to tune in. All right, that's all I got for you. As always, endlessly appreciative for every single one of you. Until next time, friends, Maestro out.